We are live.
We are live, you
in
fucking
more ways
fruit
than one.
cups.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, we were talking about
A lot.
a lot of stuff, but the first thing I want to bring to your attention.
Okay, let's start off
Talk logistics later.
with who are you?
Who am
are you?
who am-
Who are you?
Ashley cut individual.
Nice.
You like that?
I'm a pragmatic motherfucker, bro. That's who I am.
Just call me fresh cut.
Call me Praggy, bro.
Praggy.
Praggy hanging out with the laggies.
Jesus.
So, we got some Pizza Hut, but he got a cut. You know, he went with the too short because he's too short.
Too short. With the one long on the sides.
Jim Jones,
Yeah, it's looking good. I like it.
2 Chainz.
It's clean.
You got the fade just here.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, how you feeling, dog?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Dude, we're gonna different podcast this time.
Different podcast.
Yeah,
bro.
because fortunately, for reasons we can't disclose, couldn't attend our regular Friday open mic, so we decided we're gonna do our
Jokes and one advice each.
okay. Because 2 jokes is that's only like 2 minutes, dog.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll talk a little bit. It's all good.
All right, sounds good, bro. Where'd you get this, by the way?
Don't worry about it.
Did you make it?
Huh?
Did you make it?
These are one-hitter quitters.
No, I mean this, not the fucking weed.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't make that.
It's too bad.
Why? I could easily make that. I could fab that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked you. Did you make it?
No, but last Monday. No, was it Monday or Tuesday? Sorry, it was on Wednesday. Me and Roshan, he's really good at TIG welding.
Damn, that's a good skill to have.
And I'm decent at TIG, but I'm really good at stick. Like stick welding, like
You need to keep up with practice to be a good TIG welder. So the guys who are good at that shows like that's hours in with that shit.
yeah, but like I think if you have a steady hand too, you're a strong kid, you got a steady hand, you could do it.
No, because TIG is this versus like someone with a steady hand can do MIG no problem. Because yeah, sure, it's just take the gun and go. But with TIG, it's you got this going on. So to get like to roll dimes, like to weld dimes, you got to be like, it's like I said, it's out of the work. So guys who get like really good beats going, it's like every time when I see them, I'm like, damn, bro.
But there's also a weld practice that is just dots. What is that called?
tacks.
No, it's like
Tacking.
tacking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tacking is fairly easy. A lot of people tack most of the things that they can, like this just to put it together. We have
Yeah,
to
no, of
tack
course.
a
Yeah,
certain- And then exactly.
Yeah.
And then you fill. Yeah. So I did a little bit of that good stuff.
Nice. What were you just fucking around, or what were you fixing something?
No, so he cracked his muffler.
Oh, nice. You're fixed. Yeah.
We're
Sick.
fixing it. And it's like a nice straight pipe. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's working on this. It's called a Terminator. You ever hear of it? So it's like basically a really tuned up Mustang,
Okay.
right? It's like a version of the Mustang they used to make, like
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
2006 to 2009, I think. It's called like it's some people call it Frankenstein, some people call it a
Interesting.
Terminator.
I know that gen of Mustang.
Yeah.
interesting.
It's
I like the
I don't know
style,
the specs,
but it was underpowered for a while. People the Coyote engine that
Mm.
people talk about that came after that gen.
Yeah.
There's a guy on YouTube who takes a 2007 Mustang and has been working on it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And he's like, every those guys wrong, and he's done like a full fucking rebuild, built
yeah.
engine from the bottom. It's pretty cool.
My one of my cousins has a Peugeot.
Peugeot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a Porsche engine.
Damn. Did a swap on a Peugeot?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it's real nice. He also has an old school 318 BMW i,
Wow.
and I'm telling you, one of the best looking cars
Mm.
like from back in the day was those Beamers, 318 fucking.
What's how back in the day are you talking here?
97? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the equivalent of like an M3 now, or like let's say an M3 even 10 years ago.
No, I'm just thinking about 10 years ago is, bro, it's fucking 2013.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about what the late 90s looked like, those gens. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the headlights. Yeah, I think
They were
I
like
got
really
it.
old school compact.
Then I got it in my head.
Beamers.
It's like they were angled headlights, I think, right? Like when you looked at it from the side profile, it wasn't rounded like they are now. It was like more straight.
Yeah, so basically the front lights would
Yeah,
there was an angle.
That's something.
There was
Nice.
an
Okay,
angle. Yeah,
I got it in
You
my
know,
head
you
now.
know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. All right, bro, run me some material, you fucking.
All right. 2 and 2.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. All right, so we've heard the term gender fluid. Everybody's talking about gender fluid now.
Yeah.
People identifying as multiple genders, as places. I identify as whatever race suits me the best. So some days I'm Latino, some days like today I'm a white skinhead, some days I'm Indian, Iranian, whatever kind of discounts or fucking benefits I can wherever I'm going. So I've gone as far as pretending to be raised from the South, but I've also said that I'm a new immigrant and no hablo inglés. It works. People here, I think, would benefit from being race fluid, and I think that's something we should be pushing as a community. Guys,
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was not bad. You're a long-ended joke teller, huh?
Mhm.
That's your thing.
I haven't figured right there. Those guys calling you out. So then I build a joke around that now.
I would suggest one thing that helped me was I would try to look at something in the most outlandish way to find the funny or to find the shortness of it.
Right.
Right? Like take a cuss word, like an interesting cuss word, and just build a joke around that. Build a fake scenario completely. I was at a corner store, whatever.
Yeah.
The baby looked at me and said, "Go fuck your mother." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it could just be something so thing. I find that works too. Maybe just explore that. See
Yeah,
what works
yeah.
For you.
Or what you got?
I love when single moms say, "I need a man who can handle me." Bitch, Thor couldn't handle you. Zeus himself would file for divorce. Jenny Craig threw you out, bro. They didn't have insurance for your fat ass. See, like that's like a short one. It's not like it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it could be that. It could be a better punchline. Again, like you say a joke, like you would actually do this way better than me because in this way is that you iron your jokes out. So imagine think about this like 3 or 4, 5, 6 times.
Oh yeah. Then
And
like
like
you
a week or two,
start to
you start moving.
yeah,
things
yeah,
around.
yeah.
There's something funny there, but
Mhm.
it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I could actually, even right now, I could just think of something real thing. But men just want a woman that has a mouth, an asshole, a pussy, and her limbs. She can suck dick, and she's not retarded. I'm in. Like it again. You
Yeah.
could figure it out. but
Yeah,
there's
no,
something-
yeah. I'm the kind of guy. I definitely, as you mentioned, I do like to.
Yeah,
Because right as soon as you said that, be like, yo, you could add to that. Be like,
Yeah.
yo, maybe she doesn't even need limbs.
Yeah. The limbs are optional. See? Guys, I want to say something. Some people might hear this stuff and be like, why are you guys running jokes? But the thing is, like, to bounce jokes off your friend, that's exactly what you just witnessed right there, where he just told me something, like, to some people that might be like, whatever.
Mhm.
And then I came with the optional. Like, that's the word, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said the idea. It's like, you don't even need limbs, right? Which is better than me saying, like, oh, men. It has nothing to do with men,
yeah.
right? It could just be like, something about the funny thing about how little we care, right?
Mhm,
And then the optional, it's like that's the right word with his idea. So that's exactly what you want. Let me just hold that thought, bro.
I used to carry a pen with me.
Yeah, you used to also be a fucking dork.
What are you being a dork?
Nobody, you sounded so retarded. Nobody understood what you're trying to say there. Dog. This is like the epitome of retardation.
You got like
Find a
100.
goddamn
Show the
pen.
camera how many fucking marks you got. Switch the camera and show the fucking camera how many markers you got. You can one fucking
It's
pen
so
in there.
Goddamn embarrassing. None
Jesus.
of these. None of these.
Fucking both of these. Yo, did you check under both of these?
Oh, these nuts. Come back to radio station 452. All right. With 4 limbs. And then you just wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Limbs are optional.
No,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's good. It's good.
that's
I like
good.
it. I like it.
That's not bad. That's not anywhere.
That's not.
That's
I
that's
made
off
that
the
shit
dome.
up.
That's off the dome. That's off the dome, son.
That's good. You need those.
You need those. I honestly think if I want to get to a level where I can just make shit off the dome,
Yeah.
that's where I really want to be. And I don't mean like fucking with like crowd work. I don't mean that.
Mm.
I mean like I'll start saying some shit and then I'll just come up with something. Right? I don't know if that's a skill I can actually acquire.
Yeah, I don't know about that because even the best comedians, they still write their material.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
They have a great ability for like coming up with jokes for sure, but when they do, it's like they're gonna make sure that it's tight and that it's good.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, for them, it's a bit different. It's like, you know, if you're selling out a fucking stadium, it's like getting paid for this shit. It's different, right? You want to make sure that it's like nice and and tight and solid.
Not only that, but there's guys who I put in different categories.
Mm.
So, I don't know if you know.
Because what you're talking about is almost like improv, really.
Yes and no. So, who's that? Fuck, man, I forgot his name.
Famous dude.
Is one of Joe Rogan's openers, but now he's like, now he's now he's Kill Tony.
Okay.
You ever hear of Kill Tony? Okay, Kill Tony is a thing where guys go up and they do their set, right?
Right.
And then you got like 4 professional comedians
Mhm.
gonna rate you after you do your set.
Right.
Okay. So if you're funny, if you're not, like what they would add.
Yeah.
Or they just start giving you some banter and
Mm.
just back and forth banter on your
Mm, mm,
jokes, right? And then you got to give shit back.
Yeah.
Like one motherfucker's like, I can't tell his joke, but it was just so good because the interaction is like,
They're just going back and forth.
they're just back and forth.
Mm.
And it's hilarious because it's not just physical. It's like, bro, he's like a 2-year-old. Like there's just funny shit
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, you get clowned, but it's hilarious. And it's by a dude who's been doing comedy for like 30 years.
Mhm.
So there's this thing. So I think it can be done, especially when you see guys like Schultz
Mm.
do crowd work specials. But like the crowd work might be like, oh, you're bald. And then some crazy creative joke
Yeah.
about the baldness that, yeah, of course he's still doing crowd work, but it's like it's levels above anybody that can come up with that
Mm.
on the spot. Like I
Mhm.
would say he's one of those guys where he can come up with some shit
Yeah.
right off the spot. Because you got guys that just say their jokes, and then if somebody like interrupts,
Mhm.
it's kind of like they're saying a speech. So
Yeah.
if you interrupt, they don't have a comeback to you. They don't have
No, I
anything
know
to
what you mean. I think these days, especially, crowd work is like such a huge skill for a lot of these guys. Even guys who start out. Like there's this one dude that one Latino. I think I might have passed him along. A Latino dude like out of California. His name Rene Vaca. Might have passed a few of his reels along, but he's still at that. Like he's definitely a pro. He books shows, but he's still booking smaller shows versus like really big ones, right?
Yeah.
But you'll see in his clips, it's like a mix of his material and then like crowd work stuff. And it's so important because I think there's part of it where you need it for like breaks in between your own material.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just like a change of pace, right? People love laughing up to funny jokes, but if somebody interrupts and all of a sudden you start like, yo, is that your girl? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they just go and go off of that. People respond to that really well, and it's a huge skill to have because you never know when someone's just gonna like say some bullshit, and then all of a sudden, you don't want to be like you said, like if you're just doing a speech, just caught deer in the headlights, can't say shit, can't do shit.
Bro, there was this one where it was Ari Spear. It's like some fucking shitty.
Harry Spears, yeah.
It's like some shitty fucking mobile Motorola fucking 2-pixel.
Oh
fucking
yeah.
video.
Yeah.
And he's like, the guy interrupts him. He's like, is that your wife or is that a seal you're feeding tonight? I'm like, yo, what? That's like,
yeah.
if there's a dictionary definition for fighting words,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
If you're not scrapping after that or you're not doing something,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, bro, like that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like if you cry in front of a chick, she's gonna lose respect for you?
Depends on the girl, and I truly mean that. There's some people because there are some people you do that and 100% like in their eyes like you're less of a man, blah blah. This all this and that.
Yeah.
And then for other people, they respect you more in a way because they're like this person is like emotionally developed, like they're not just emotionally stunted. Like they don't if they see some shit that their body knows how to react. Like if their parents die,
What if they're stoic?
always stoic.
Well,
That's
you
what I'm
say-
saying,
You
'cause-
say, hold on. You say emotionally
Developed, yeah.
But I think stoics are emotionally developed and they don't show their
Maybe,
emotions.
man. I don't know. The whole stoicism. The only reason it's come up again is because of that fucking guy with the books with the guy's. I forget what the guy's name is. Fuck.
Anyway, nihilistic is kind of the same as well.
No, because Stoicism is not.
It's a
No,
different
man.
It's a different
It's
degree.
completely different because
But-
Stoicism is not how you view the world. It's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
you react to the world.
Okay,
Nihilism is how you view the world. Those are two different things.
but there's an underlying, I would say, parenthesis on both terms as far as kind of a little bit of a detachment from emotion. Obviously, Stoicism being highlighted on that, and nihilism being kind of closer to not really, almost neutral. But there is a sense of, when you're nihilistic, there is a sense of detachment. Like, you can't be. I actually don't know. This would be interesting to look at. Would be like, if you're nihilistic, are you technically detaching, or are you like an emotional nihilistic person?
That's what I'm saying. Because you can be a negative nihilist. Like you can be like a fucking just pain to be around. Like you're just whatever. But you can also be like a stoic nihilist, where this is how you believe the world is. Like that's fine, but you don't present yourself in a certain way.
For some reason, the fluidity, the how do you
Fluidity.
say fluidity, the fluidity of combining these ideas is not attractive to me for some reason. I don't know. I think I have an underlying tone in my head as a child of
Yeah.
being an absolutist,
Mhm.
and then that affects like how I look at these terms.
Right.
Because like somebody like you might look at this and be like, well, you could be half and half, you
Mhm,
could
mhm.
be 25, like you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
have different mixtures. And I look at it as like, you are this, so you have to conduct yourself by these rules.
Well, that's the thing, is that I don't think you understand these are two things that are describing two different parts of your life.
No, I understand
That's
that.
why, right?
I understand that. But what I'm saying is,
Because you
there's
have this
also,
idea in your
even
head
if
of,
they were-
of what a nihilist looks
Sure.
or acts like, when that's not how it works. Because a nihilist is simply how
how they
nihilism
view the world, not
exactly.
how they act.
Yeah, exactly,
I
right.
understand that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, even if you look at somebody who's so what you're saying is, in the same category as a stoic,
Mhm.
what are the other options? Highly emotional.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so
What
highly
else?
highly reactive, highly explosive. There's passionate is another, I guess, another one to speak to it. In terms of those actual terms, I don't really know. I've never really looked much into. I know the basis of Stoicism. I know how it started with Aurelius and all those guys and back in the Roman days, but I don't know what other terms you would have for like the opposite ones, like the same level, like Melissa. So like what I can't come up with these words. I just know that yeah, you describe if someone is like super like very stoic, then like the opposite would be someone who's highly reactive and out of control, or like highly emotional, we'll say. Right? And then there's
Yeah.
everything in between.
So what's interesting though, as far as you say, when nihilism and stoicism, they're not in the same category, and I agree. But what's interesting is that right now in 2023, having a political view is also aligned with having certain type of emotions.
Yeah, these days especially. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, I think I wouldn't say having views, but how strongly you feel about those views. So there's a reason why being in the center is typically called a moderate, right? Because it even speaks to how the person should normally conduct themselves moderately,
Yeah.
right? If you're in the center, you conduct yourself at an even pace.
Yeah.
But if you're, that's why they call it like extremism, right? Like far left wing, far right wing,
right-wing,
the
yeah.
same deal. It's like with these Democrats and the Republicans, same deal. It's like if you're on the far side of either one, you really look at them, and it's like they act very similarly. They look different, sure. It's like you're gonna have some like left wing, like as you described them in the past, fruit cups,
Yeah.
whatever, Karens that freak out, and there's
Yeah,
a ton of videos where like it's just I think the funniest one I ever saw was guys walking down the street, and he asks some girl or what looks like a girl a question, and she
Yeah.
starts like fucking yelling at him,
Yeah.
like freaking out, and the guy's like, "Look, see this is what left wing, whatever, right." But then you look at these fucking like right wing radicals too, and you're like, bro, there's a reason they call them Y'all Qaeda, because these motherfuckers are with fucking screaming about patriotism, freedom. These guys are the ones who will cry if you don't sing the anthem right,
Yeah.
like the whole thing, right? So you see similar emotional reactions
Yeah.
for different reasons,
Mm.
but at the underlyingness of it is that they're just highly politically motivated.
I saw this one guy that seemed educated in this field describe it as these political views have been pushed by the government, and the purpose of them was to have people think in a linear fashion, one way or the other, or so you're still on that line regardless, right? Things like anarchist aren't in that line.
Yeah,
Would you
it's
agree?
true because they live outside of that technically.
Exactly. But how come the government never pushes that? Because you can't control that.
Why don't they push anarchism? Well, you just
No.
it's in a definition, right?
The thing is, government is just people.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Okay. So anarchists don't, by definition, they revolt the rules and regulations of
Any establishment.
any
Yeah,
establishment. But it's interesting that that's not up for the running, because they say, like, okay, technically the government is compiled of what the people want. That's the whole purpose of government, is that it
Yes.
speaks
It's for the people.
for the people,
Yeah.
by the people.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking motto, right? But the funny part is like, that's still in that programmed line of control of, hey, you are a tax-paying citizen, you're supposed to do this, you're
Yeah.
supposed to do that. And what would be interesting is, I don't think it's ever really been done like this. Instead of living this somewhat called matrix life, how interesting would it be? And I think it would be fatal for civilization and society, but it would be very, very interesting if like 30 million people tomorrow were like, I'm not going to work, I'm not doing shit, I'm just going to fucking go with these other 30 million people and we're going to rob the world. Like, I know that's
An anarchist wouldn't want to rob the world. That's not how it works.
no.
So-
I'm not saying those two ideas are aligned.
okay.
I'm just saying, like, that's just never been done before. It'd be interesting if
If people got together to steal,
no, if people got together to completely just stop.
just say
Stop.
anarchists. Yeah.
No, not even
that's
not
fair.
even an anarchist. Just stop playing this game we call life, as far as paying taxes.
That's
being this
what
model citizen.
anarchists. Yeah, that is them.
Technically,
Yes.
yeah, technically.
The reason why I'm getting excited about this because it's so funny you mentioned this. This has actually been done. You say that it hasn't, but it has on a small scale.
yeah,
There,
revolutions. and
no,
things
no,
like
no,
that,
no,
but-
no, no. We're talking like recently, like in like with modern normal people. There are anarchy communities all over, right? And what's great about the online world is that that brings people together. So as before, you have like pockets of like some random fucking dude over there being
Yeah.
like, ah, blah, 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 blah. But now it's like they can all come together. So there's actually a documentary that I watched. It was like a 5-part documentary on Crave, called Anarchapulco, and it's a combination of anarchy and Acapulco in Mexico.
Okay.
A group of anarchists actually got together and created a community in a pocket of Acapulco. And it started because there was this one dude who was like seen as like the one of pioneers of like modern anarchy, and he started holding conferences in Acapulco yearly. They still actually do this. You can look
Yeah.
it up. And then eventually they decided that, hey, why don't we just like form a community where we can live these values that we feel are good for us. And the spoiler to all this is that it didn't actually work out that well.
Yeah.
It ended up kind of blowing up everybody's faces, but
There's-
I don't think not for the reasons of the ideals. I think the real reason that it failed is that time and time again, we have, as human beings, have proven to each other that we are just people at the end of the day. Doesn't matter what ideology we're going to cling on to, someone's going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And that's what happened here, is that they were doing well, and then one of these dudes was dealing dope in fucking narco Mexico, bro.
Yeah.
And he got shot and killed, and then it fucking like blew everything up.
Human greed, human imperfection.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's
what
the
it
biggest
is.
thing. Human imperfection at the end of the day. And that's
Yeah.
just, we're humans, right?
I think true enlightenment is to be able to detach yourself from that ideology. I think that enlightenment might never reach a single soul,
Mm.
and might have the people that had that, I don't think made a difference in the world, and that's why we still have this, because as a human race, if we can decide that we're not gonna go after our stereotypical behaviors
Mm.
and have control to run the world, bro.
And with that, we are out.
We are live.
We are live, you fucking
in more ways
fruit
than one.
cups.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, we were talking about
A lot.
a lot of stuff, but the first thing I want to bring to your attention